I was reading in the past week this story about Mary and Jesus, where Jesus is in Bethany. Lazarus has been raised from the dead, and Jesus is having supper with Martha and Lazarus and Mary and some of the other disciples and stuff. And so it says, Mary took a pound of ointment of spikenard, very costly, and anointed the feet of Jesus and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with the odor of the ointment. And then says one of the disciples, Judas Iscariot, which should betray him, why was not this ointment sold for 300 pence and given to the poor? And this he said, not that he cared for the poor, but because he was a thief and he had the bag and bare what was put therein. So I was pondering on this and I thought, I have started to look for symbols in everything. So I see spikenard, and because I look for symbols in nature a lot, I thought, okay, spikenard. Why spikenard? Jesus tells him that she has anointed him against the day of his burial. So there's definitely something related to the burial spices to do with spikenard, but there's a lot more to it than that, because normally you might just stop there and not look it up. Spikenard, 300 denarius is what it would be equivalent to, which one denarius was a day's wage. So Mary broke open a bottle with the equivalent of a year's salary. So a modern equivalent might be like $35,000 or more or something. So this was huge, that she would spend this amount, break it open, put it, some accounts say she put it on his head, some say she put it on his feet. I started to look at what spikenard symbolizes. And in the Song of Solomon, Solomon and his wife, they would wear spikenard because it's such a intense, I mean, you can smell it from across the room. And it was a way of remembering each other in a crowd. My wife is here. I can smell the spikenard, so it's this love and devotion. But also, if we were to look at it with Christ, are we always remembering him? Is he like lingering in the air, like the smell of spikenard? He's always in our minds in some way. And that type of love and devotion, to where he's somewhere beneath the surface in our consciousness of him. And then, of course, the death and burial. But there's also this sacrifice. She held nothing back. She didn't like open the bottle and just put a little here and a little there. She broke it completely open and used every last bit of it. There was nothing left. And it's this symbolism of broken vessels, how when we are a broken vessel, we're broken open and we let him fully come in. The benefits of spikenard, I started looking this up, and I want you to think of these in terms of Jesus Christ. The calming, the relaxing, the mood lifting. It's a grounding oil. It's good for your skin. So the skin generally symbolizes a protection. It's the protective coating on our body. It's that armor that we wear, we put on Christ, like our skin. It silences the mind. So a lot of people use it with meditation and prayer, and it has anti-inflammatory and fights infection. So if you think in terms of Christ helping fight the infections that are getting to our soul, or keeping down the inflammation in our soul and soothing it, and then it treats insomnia, stress, digestive problems. A weak immune system really stuck out at me, because our immune system is our protection from the world, right? And whatever the world's going to throw at us. So he is that. As we align with him fully and really remember him like that spikenard lingering in the air, he calms our deepest fears and anxieties and instills this profound sense of peace, right? The Prince of Peace. So these are the benefits that you will get as you zone in more on aligning with the divine and seeing him in everything around you. These are the benefits. And I could always use these benefits. I don't know about y'all, but I'll take them. If you would just jot down, what is one thing that Mary inspired you today to add to your daily practice? And it doesn't have to be a big time consuming thing. It could be like, okay, where do I see him in the world around me? Where do I acknowledge that he's showing up? It could be something that simple. So it's not really adding more time. It's just adjusting the focus of what you're already doing.